A song is made of two separate copyrights, the musical work and the sound recording. I covered the differences in other videos. Here, I want to talk about the different entities that collect money and enforce the rights on each of those works. Well, two entities sit on the musical work side, the music publisher and the performance right organization. A music publisher manages the copyright in the composition. If a songwriter hires a music publisher, the songwriter generally assigns the copyright to the publisher by contract. And in exchange, the publisher works to exploit the song and splits the revenue with the songwriter or songwriters, depending on the terms of the agreement. Because the publisher holds an assigned ownership interest, the publisher has standing, meaning they have a right to sue anyone who uses the composition without permission. A PRO works alongside the publisher on that same composition. Organizations like BMI, CSAC, ASCAP, they license the public performance of the musical work. They issue a blanket license that grants access to their full catalog for a flat annual fee. They collect that money from the businesses that perform the music and pay it out as performance royalties that split evenly between the publisher and the writer. Publishers affiliates with a PRO to license the performance rights in their catalog. Now, the other two entities sit on the recording side, a distribution company and Sound Exchange. A distribution company places the recorded version onto streaming services, stores, and digital platforms. It formats the files for each platform, uploads them, collects the earnings those platforms generate, and pays them back to the artist. Although distributors typically don't have any ownership of the copyright, it can remove the music for non-payment or take down notice. Now, Sound Exchange also works on the sound recording, but it collects something different the distributor does not. It is designated to collect statutory royalties for the digital public performance of a sound recording, the money that is actually owed when recording is played over non-interactive digital transmissions. This is where the listener does not choose the specific track. It pays that money directly to the featured artist and the owner of the sound recording. This split controls everything. A right or registration on the sound recording gives no right over the musical work, and the reverse is just as true. So the composition has its own collectors and the recording has its own, each enforced and paid separately. A person can be one or many of these different holders and get money from all one or many of these distributors. It's important to understand what your rights are. It helps you to determine how you should pursue payment and how you should negotiate. Now, there is a book that I read over 12 years ago. This is a really good book to help those in the music industry understand. As you can see, I have so many tabs in here. I studied this book until I understood it like the back of my hand, front and back of my hand. So this is a really good book, but it's one that was written many years ago. But a recent book that was also written that I had studied is this one too, How to Make It in the New Music Business. So this one right here catches on some new stuff that all you need to know about the music business didn't really catch on to. But this one is really good to read, especially as we're moving more in a modern time. So it is very helpful to stay educated. Save this video and map your song to all four of these different ways to get paid. Share it with another artist who may be collecting from one side or both sides. I do not give specific legal advice in my DMs or comment sections. If you want specific guidance or consideration for representation, please view the bio or read the post description on how to proceed with investing in your protection. Otherwise, keep learning from My Attorney Knows educational videos with the Ownership Attorney.